My sister froze. Wait, how did you uncover my hidden journal? When I pressed her about the entries, I told her, your therapist slipped up. The moment she realized her therapist had been handing her violent thoughts over to police, secrets turned into evidence. I'm 29, male, living with my younger sister, Natalie, 26, for the last 8 months. Not willingly. She lost her apartment after being fired from her 4th job in 2 years, and our parents begged me to let her stay. It was supposed to be 1 month. Maximum. Natalie was always intense. As kids, she'd explode over little things. Someone ate her snack, she'd scream for hours. Didn't get invited somewhere, she'd destroy reputations. My parents brushed it off as sensitive or passionate. When she moved in, I made rules $400 monthly for expenses. Clean up. No surprise guests. Simple. She cried, hugged me, said I was the only one who truly understood her. That lasted 3 days. First month. No money, claimed she was healing from trauma. Dirty dishes stacked until they grew mold. Random men showing up at 2 a.m. If I confronted her, she'd break down, accuse me of being just like mom and dad, insisting nobody understood her pain. But the unsettling part began 3 months ago. I'd catch her staring, blank, detached, too long. When I noticed, she'd suddenly beam with fake cheerfulness. She started asking strange questions, when I sleep, shower, whether I ever take sleeping pills. Then my belongings began disappearing. Not valuables, just odd things. A mug. A sock. My phone charger. When I asked, she'd help me look and miraculously find them in places I'd never leave them. 2 weeks ago, she started therapy. Our parents paid after she had a meltdown at our cousin's wedding. She wasn't in the bridal party, completely lost it during the reception. After therapy, she seemed calmer. Said it was transformative. Yesterday shattered that illusion. I came home early with a migraine. Natalie was supposedly at therapy. I grabbed medicine in the bathroom, noticed her bedroom door wide open, never happens. Inside. Disturbing. Photos of me everywhere. Some from family events, others taken secretly. Me asleep, me cooking, me through the bathroom door crack. On her desk sat a black notebook. I opened it. First page, my name scribbled again and again. Surrounded by hearts and knives. I flipped through. Entry from 2 months ago, asterisk he thinks is better than me. If something happened to him, I'd get everything. Asterisk 6 weeks ago, asterisk insulin overdose. Untraceable if done right. Asterisk 1 month ago, asterisk he takes melatonin. What if I swapped in something stronger? Asterisk 2 weeks ago, asterisk therapist asked about my brother. Lied. Said I was grateful. Really wanted to tell her my plans, but she's probably a snitch. Asterisk 3 days ago, asterisk found his life insurance. I'm a beneficiary. Need to figure out how to change it. Asterisk. My hands shook. I took photos of every page. Her plans were detailed. Poisoning research. Notes on my routine. Optimal opportunities marked. Then the front door opened. I shoved the book back and retreated. A knock. Natalie's voice, sweet, cheery, want dinner? I lied, said I needed sleep. Instead, I barricaded my door, called my best friend, begged to crash at his place. This morning, I went to the police. The detective grew graver with each photo. Asked if she was in therapy. I said yes. He made a call, returned grim. We've been aware of your sister for about a week. Her therapist filed a mandatory report after session 2. She's been documenting every detail while assessing danger level. My stomach dropped. Her therapist had reported her. Mandated reporter laws. Threats with specific intent must be shared. Natalie thought confidentiality was ironclad. She had no idea. Police were planning to act next week. But now, with the notebook, it had to happen today. Update 1 The arrest was intense. I left while police executed the warrant. Hours later, a call, she was in custody. The detective said she didn't even deny it. Just spat, that therapist ratted me out, didn't she? They found more. Under her bed, stolen prescription pills from our parents, forged documents, my insurance info, a draft will with my signature practiced in margins, printed poisoning methods. But worse, she'd been posting in sibling forums. Not venting. Asking how to handle the aftermath of a sudden sibling death. Others warned her, told her to get help. She mocked them, said they were weak. My parents were called. Denial. Mom accused me of framing her. Dad insisted it was creative writing. Then detectives showed them the notebook, posts, reports. Mom collapsed sobbing. Dad aged 10 years on the spot. But Natalie, when they visited her in jail, furious. Not guilty, not remorseful. Furious. She even called me. You went through my private things. That's illegal. I told her, you were plotting to kill me. She sneered, said it was just venting, writing exercises. Then paused. Wait. How did you even find my notebook? I told her, your therapist left it. Silence. Then flat voice, she wouldn't, she was reporting me. I confirmed. Natalie's tone turned icy. I should have known. You, Mom, Dad, that therapist, you all want me gone. You live in your perfect apartment, smug job, making me feel worthless. You deserved it. You deserve worse. She hung up. Update 2 Natalie's out on bail. Parents posted $25,000. Conditions: no contact with me, ankle monitor, psych evaluation, travel ban. Parents begged me to drop charges, called non-stop. She's sick, not a criminal. You're tearing this family apart. I refused. Prosecutor says evidence, journal, therapist reports, forum posts, makes the case airtight for conspiracy and threats. Natalie fought back online before her lawyer made her delete it. Claimed the notebook was fiction for a thriller novel. Accused me of jealousy, said I feared her healing journey. Some friends believed her. Told me to just talk it out. Then yesterday, I went back to my apartment with police escort to grab clothes. Supposed to be an hour. Locks had been changed. Natalie wasn't at therapy. She was in her car across the street, watching. Officer spotted her first. She wasn't technically violating 500 feet restriction, she was 600. But she was monitoring. Officer approached. She smiled. Oh, officer. Just waiting for a friend here. He wasn't fooled. Ran her ID, saw bail terms. Natalie, you're supposed to be at therapy right now. Your session was an hour ago. Smile vanished. Are you stalking me? How do you know my schedule? His reply was cold. It's in the system. You skipped mandatory therapy. That's a violation. She panicked, tried to speed off. The officer radioed it in. They caught her 2 blocks away. Arrested again. Bail revoked. Back in jail. My parents turned their fury on me. Mom texted a wall of accusations, claimed I was enjoying destroying Natalie, that I'd always been jealous of her beauty and charm. Beauty and charm. She had been plotting to poison me. Update 3. Trial is next month, but things spiraled faster than I imagined. Remember Dr. Reeves, the therapist who reported Natalie? She contacted my lawyer, wanting to share something within ethical boundaries. Turns out, Natalie wasn't the first of her patients to bring me up. 2 years earlier, Reeves had treated Natalie's ex-boyfriend, Garrett. He came for anxiety and depression after their breakup. In therapy, he mentioned Natalie often joked about killing me. Lines like, "Wouldn't life be easier if my brother just disappeared? I already know how I'd do it." Garrett brushed it off as morbid humor, but noted it anyway. Back then it wasn't specific enough to report, so Reeves just kept records. When Natalie later showed up as a patient, by coincidence through her insurance, Reeves recognized the patterns immediately. This wasn't a sudden collapse. It had been years in the making. My lawyer subpoenaed Garrett. His sworn testimony was sickening. Natalie had dragged him into murder planning games. Always using me as the target. He thought it was dark roleplay until she pressed him about chemistry, poisons, timing my schedule. Garrett was pre-med, and she exploited it. He dumped her after she suggested they buy life insurance on each other for fun. Then came the worst revelation. Garrett admitted Natalie once bragged, while drunk, that she'd already tried to poison me. 4 years ago, I was hospitalized for 3 days after a mystery illness. Doctors suspected food poisoning. I recovered, we all moved on. But that dinner, Natalie cooked it. Supposedly an apology for crashing my car. My favorite meal. Garrett swore she'd confessed to testing something, but not enough. My lawyer immediately pulled my old medical records. The symptoms lined up with ethylene glycol poisoning, antifreeze. Small dose. Not fatal. But it matched. A trial run. When this came up in a preliminary hearing, Natalie snapped. She screamed that Garrett was a liar, Dr. Reeves was incompetent, that I had turned the world against her. Judge had her escorted out. Her attorney asked for recess. New defense, insanity plea. Update 4. The insanity angle fell apart quickly. Court-appointed psychiatrist spent 2 weeks with her. Diagnosis, personality disorder, yes. But legally insane? No. She knew exactly what she was doing. Her own journal proved it. Notes on hiding evidence, making deaths look accidental, researching fraud. She even lied to her therapist, showing she understood her thoughts were unacceptable. The prosecutor offered a deal: plead guilty to conspiracy, serve 7 to 10 years, psychiatric treatment mandatory, parole possible in 5. Natalie refused. She demanded trial. Convinced she could fool a jury. My parents, still in denial, mortgaged their house for a high-profile defense attorney. The new strategy: paint me as the abuser. Claim her writing was trauma processing from living in fear of me. They demanded my records, exes, jobs. But the lie unraveled fast. My ex Hannah, from college, came forward on her own. She testified Natalie stalked and harassed her for months, creepy notes, showing up at her dorm, sending dead flowers, threatening messages. I hadn't known most of it. Hannah stayed quiet back then to avoid family drama. 3 more exes came forward too, describing threats and harassment. That buried the abuse claim. But Natalie didn't stop. Somehow, she got phone access in jail. Called my boss, accused me of being a drug addict, planting evidence against her, stealing family money, even embezzling from work. Luckily, my boss already knew everything. He recorded the call, gave it to my lawyer. Another charge added: witness intimidation. Final update. Trial lasted 5 days. Prosecution presented everything: the journal, forum posts, therapist notes, Garrett's testimony, evidence of stolen pills, forged documents, my hospital records, ex-girlfriend's testimony, and the recorded call. Defense argued it was all fantasy. Brought in their own psychiatrist to say she was depressed and venting. Then Natalie insisted on testifying herself. Against advice. It was disturbing. She began weeping about being unloved, overshadowed, desperate for approval. The prosecutor let her ramble 20 minutes. Then the questions came. If this was fantasy, why research poisons? I was curious about chemistry. Why steal prescriptions? I have insomnia. Why forge your brother's signature? Handwriting practice. Why tell your ex you poisoned him years ago? Silence. Then, his lying. Prosecutor hit her with the receipt: antifreeze purchased 3 days before my hospitalization. Found in a memory box at my parents' house. That's when her mask dropped. Her face hardened. He deserved it. All of it. You don't know what it's like living in his shadow. Perfect job, perfect apartment, everyone loves him. I'm smarter, better, but nobody sees me because he takes up all the space. And now he ruins my life over a stupid notebook. I wasn't really going to do it. Maybe I was. He'd never appreciate the sacrifices I made by not doing it. He's selfish. Making this about him. Prosecutor cut her off. You poisoned him 4 years ago. That wasn't poison. I just wanted him weak, for once. To need help. To not be perfect. The courtroom went silent. Jury deliberated 2 hours. Verdict: guilty on all counts: conspiracy, threats, possession, forgery, intimidation, attempted poisoning. Sentencing: 15 years. Eligible parole in 10 with mandatory psych treatment. When read aloud, Natalie laughed. Stared me down. I'll be out in 10. Hope I find someone else to hate by then. Judge added a year for the threat. 16 years total. My parents were crushed. They finally accept who she is, but still cling to love for her. They'll visit. I won't. They enabled her for 26 years. Even now, Mom mutters, if only we got her help sooner. As if this isn't about her choices. As if this isn't about Natalie being dangerous. I've moved. New city, new job. Only my best friend and lawyer know where I am. I'm in therapy, processing the reality that my sister has wanted me dead for years, and almost succeeded. Dr. Reeves, through my lawyer, sent a message: In 20 years of practice, she's never seen such persistent, specific homicidal fixation. She believes Natalie would have acted eventually. Detective said the same. You're lucky you found that notebook. She wasn't fantasizing. She was preparing. I don't feel lucky. I feel drained. Heartbroken. Growing up beside someone plotting your death leaves scars. But I'm alive. She's behind bars. Sometimes, that has to be enough. People ask if I forgive her. The answer is no. You can't forgive someone who promises they'll try again. You survive them. Then you move forward. That's what I'm doing now. One day, one therapy session, one new experience at a time. 16 years of safety. More than I ever thought I'd get.